All right, good morning, everybody. We're going to start a new project today. We've been working with the color wheel and looking at different color combinations. The last project we used our warm and cool colors. For this one, we're going to use what are called complementary colors. So for the project, we're going to be creating a digital collage. A collage is a bunch of different pictures or materials or things put together. So if we're doing it digitally, obviously it's going to be just kind of photos and shapes. So if you want to look up some examples of collages, you can do that kind of before you get started. I will show you kind of an example that I've worked on a little bit to kind of give you an idea of what we're going for. I set the square area here to be 11 by 8.5, so you can keep that. As far as copyright goes, if you're not going to post this anywhere on social media or anything like that, you do not have to worry about copyright if you're just turning it into me. If you are going to be, if you want to post it somewhere, then you do need to worry about copyright, and I'll show you how to search for uncopyrighted images, but make sure if you want to share it that you're careful about that. For the project, we're going to choose a set of complementary colors. So those are orange and blue, violet and yellow, or green and red. So you need to pick one of those pairings. You're going to search images from the web. When you're adding them, I'll show you how to arrange them, move them forward and backward, and get them kind of set up how you want. Keep in mind things we've done from the past. Working with line, visual line, implied line, working with shapes and layering and things like that. And the last thing is make sure you use up the whole space on the canvas. Okay, don't just use one little corner. You want to use up the whole area. Okay. When you're done at the very end, after you make 2 of these, you can go to this link at the bottom, and that will show you the enrichment activity websites that we can do for art class. All right, so this is something I kind of started working on just to show you some examples of how to use Google Drawings and some different tools you can work from. So the first thing is the Arrange tool. So if I drag this image in, for example, it covers up my little fish guys there. So if I want to send this to the back and have it be part of the background, I just need to select my image, go to Arrange, and then Order, and then Send to Back. Okay, now it's behind this one here. So if I do the same thing on this, send all the way to the back, then I'll see this pop up again. Okay, so that's how part of what you can do to arrange. Control Z is undo, and then you can drag, click, and resize using these squares. And the top one is to rotate. So if I want to angle things, I can do that. Okay, so some things to kind of look for. When you take an image off the internet, you're probably not going to want to use all of it. So for example, like if I have this picture here, I probably don't want this black bar at the bottom that has words on it. So to get rid of that, you're going to double click, and then you can crop the images. So if I wanted just the top part of the circle here, let's say the top half, I can do that. Oops. Okay, make sure you get the inside black bar if you're cropping. Okay, and that will leave me with just that. Then from there, I can copy that, so I can have multiple of them, and then rotate it. And that looks kind of cool. It's like a mirror image. There's lots of formatting effects. So for example, like I did on the fish here, if I take both of these, if you hold Control, you can select multiple. Copy and paste. Then I can have multiple sets of those. Bring those back on there. The red lines that pop up kind of help you align things. So for example, as I'm dragging this around, see how it aligns up to different things? So you can get that to be lined up how you want it. Okay, then when you click on an image, under formatting options, there's lots of things in here. I'll just show you a couple. One of them is recolor. So if I wanted to make this red, okay, I could do that. So when you're finding pictures, if you find a cool image you like, you can make it any color you want using these. But we'll maybe change to orange. Okay, these ones. You can add a drop shadow, which makes it look kind of more 3D. Okay, so that adds this kind of shadow underneath of it. It makes it look like it's kind of popping out of the page. Just adjusting the brightness and contrast, and then position, obviously, and you can have it have a reflection as well if you wanted to do that. It'll reflect off and kind of make it look 3D too. Inside here, there are lots of shapes you can use and draw. So these will just be like normal shapes. And then you can change the color of them, change the outline color if you want to add those in somehow. Oops. Arrange, order, bring forward. So you can use that as like backgrounds to things. I created this pattern here. Let me show you how I did that. So if I had this image to start with, and I cropped out the 3 circles, and then I copy and pasted it a bunch of times. And Google Drawings has a couple cool features in there. So if I highlight 3 things, I can arrange and then distribute horizontally. And that'll space those things out evenly, and then arrange, align the middle here, and those will line it up. Okay, so now I have them evenly spaced and lined up, and I can put those into my drawing there like that. Okay, or if I wanted to make that pattern like you saw at the beginning, drag my top one and my bottom one where I want them to be, then select all of them like that, and then arrange, we'll center them first, and then distribute vertically. That can be a nice way to make a pattern without having to click and drag everything all the time. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so duplicating objects, rotating objects, all that is good things to kind of try out and test when you're working on whatever project you're doing. Okay, a couple things here to end with. When you save this, anything that's outside this checkerboard pattern will not get saved. So if we kind of watch this urchin here, when I go to File and download a JPEG, okay, see how that gets cut in half? So anything outside that border area is not going to get saved. So you want to just make sure that you don't, if you want it to be in there, make sure it's inside all the way in like this. And then you can also see some of these are kind of blurry. So a lot of these images were small, and I blew them up to be bigger, and that's going to lead into blurry images. So if you're in Google Images, when you do a search, let's do the circles. There are some tools in here. If you click on tools, you can sort by size. And so if you choose large pictures, then these are going to be higher resolution and you won't get as much blurring. And then this is where if you want to share it, you can choose to use a Creative Commons license. And that means that these images here are for the most part okay to use and share. They do have specific rights and things inside of them, so you might have to go to the website and kind of read more and figure out exactly what the use case is if you want to use any of these images. Okay, if you don't want to share your project, again, then you don't really need to worry about it if it's just a personal project. Okay, so yeah, these you can just click and drag into your Google Drawing, or you can save them first. So if I right click, save image to my downloads, save, and then when I go to my collage, if I go to File, Open, you go to Upload from your device. Okay, similar to how you turn in your drawings. You can do it that way. Okay, probably clicking and dragging will be the fastest and the easiest way. Okay, so there's a lot of things to do here. You are going to need to make 2 of these. So you'll choose one set of complementary colors for one of them, and then for the next project, you're going to choose a different set of complementary colors that you did not choose for the first one. Okay, both of these will all be posted in Classroom. So when you look under your assignment here for the digital collage, you'll see the canvases here. There'll be Canvas 1. That's where you do your first one. Canvas 2 will be your second one. And then this video will also be posted there.